and welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty, and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the land where this conversation takes place. Land which was never ceded. Land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally, and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Today I'm chatting to Luke Farrell at Baker's Delight. Luke loves being a baker. I find it intoxicating to talk to people who are so passionate about what they do. Luke is the Product Development and Bakery Support Manager at Baker's Delight. My favourite bread ever, apart of course from a baguette bought from a boulangerie in France, is the Cape Seed loaf from Baker's Delight. It actually is. So I was thrilled to get to talk to the guy behind the new version of this, the prebiotic Cape Seed loaf. It's delicious and it's good for me. I love that. Luke said at one point that in his current role, he knows that when he develops a product, millions of people will eat it. That's pretty incredible. And did you know, because I did not, that Baker's Delight started in Hawthorn in Melbourne in 1980 and has now grown to 700 bakeries across Australia, New Zealand, Canada and the USA. I think that's pretty inspiring.
Good morning, Luke speaking.
Hi Luke, it's Jo Ritty here. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
It's good. I've just been reading about Baker's Delight actually, and I have to say I did not know that there are over 700 locations across Australia, New Zealand, Canada and the USA. That's pretty massive.
It is massive, yeah. It all started from Hawthorn in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's amazing. 42 years ago maybe now.
Yeah, 42, yeah.
And how long have you been with Baker's Delight?
I've been at 9 years.
Okay, yeah. And I'm sort of interested to know, like I can't really quite get my head around, how do you, what's your part of the puzzle of those 700 locations in the big company? What's your role?
So I've got a really stupid title. I'm the Product Development and Bakery Support Manager. And so I look after the end-to-end product development, so from concept all the way through to trialling and launch.
Yep.
It goes in all products in Australia and New Zealand, and my department also, we do lots of training with bakers. So my team are all bakers. We run group training with bakers. We also go shoulder to shoulder training around the country, lots of online tools, but bakery openings. My guys will go out there and work with the new owners and the bakers to make sure they're making good bread. So we do all of that.
Yeah, right, because I was interested to know how you can assure the consistency of the product across all the different locations. That's quite a big job.
It is a big job, and we do it in a number of ways. We make sure our recipes are right to start with.
Yeah.
That's probably, so we've got a bakery, like a test bakery where we develop all the products, and then we go out and trial in most of our trials are in say 50 bakeries, and just making sure nailing out the recipes we have that we're about to launch work in the real world.
Yeah.
So having confidence that our recipes work to start with gives us confidence that when we roll it out nationally or internationally, it's going to work.
Yeah. And I imagine you'd have to all be using the same flour and the same source of ingredients, would you as well?
Yeah, definitely. So all the bakeries in Australia all have the same flour and the same ingredients. In New Zealand, they have theirs, and in Canada and the US, they have theirs as well. The specs are all very similar, but every loaf of bread in Australia is made out of Australian wheat, made from milled in New South Wales.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I often think, I'm a French teacher as well as a writer, and I think French bread in France is really different to bread here, and it must be the flour and maybe the water as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's the flour. I did a couple of years ago. I was lucky enough with work to go over to Germany and to France and to Belgium and do some baking. Yeah. And took our flour over there. And I was in this room in Germany in this big test bakery, and we were mixing a normal sort of white dough. And one of the master bakers from Irex which is one of the international suppliers that we use. He's called all the other master bakers over to show him the dough because they were just amazed by what our flour could do and how extensible it was. It's very strong and very different to the flour around the world. So.
Yeah. I'm glad to have that story told because I've often wondered.
Yeah, no. So, and we did for a while ago, we did have a French head of innovation guy work for us, and he's like, the croissants in Australia are never the same as in France. And I said, oh, okay. And then I went there and I go, it's the flour. So you just can't get them the same.
No.
You get them very good, but it's never the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I see you've got a new mango passion fruit tart. Is that right?
Yeah, mango passion fruit tart. Yeah.
And that made me wonder, how often do you have to come up with new products?
We do maybe 12 new products a year, which may sound easy, but it is not.
Yeah.
And it's anything. We sort of will have sort of flavour variation on something which is quite easy, up to a brand new best of market health loaf, which we launched this year with our prebiotic cake seed. So the small, easy flavour variations are quite easy to do. The other stuff takes a long time and a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
So a new tart isn't that hard, but a new health loaf of bread is very hard.
Yeah. I was pretty pleased to see, I'm a big fan of the Cape Seed loaf, and in my local bakery they were no longer doing the small ones, but they seem to have come back in. So so good job on that.
Yeah, good.
It's my favourite bread. I think it's so delicious.
It's one of those loaves of bread which tastes fantastic and has so many good health benefits to it.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
But where did it all start for you? Like, have you always been a baker?
Yeah, I'm a baker and a pastry cook. At high school, I really liked cooking and I wanted to become a chef. And I grew up in the Dandenong Ranges, and in the 90s, there weren't very many places to do work experience as a chef. And so I did work experience at a local bakery that in year 10, and I thought, this is awesome. I loved everything about baking and pastry cooking.
Yeah.
And so I started from there. And I worked for an Austrian guy who worked from the Hiltons in Germany. So he was they did it really well, but really, really strict, which is a great grounding to teach you. So we did everything from scratch, everything the proper way. And that was I started my apprenticeship in 1997, and I just absolutely loved baking. So I eventually did my apprenticeship and continued on throughout the field, sort of progressing my career as well and doing extra study as well, but sort of staying within the baking industry.
And I have these ideas that bakers have to get up super early in the morning. Is that still a thing, or is that different now that we've got machinery and different things?
It's less and less. So we do have bakeries that might be starting at 2 o'clock in the morning, which is quite early, but with advances in some machinery, we can start at 5 and 6 o'clock. And it's retarded provers where it holds the product in a cold state and slows down fermentation, so we can make it today and it slowly proves up over time, and we come in later on in the morning, we can bake it off.
Yeah.
So that's something that's sort of changed it up a little bit, but bakers need to be up and at 'em in the morning. Yeah. I know, but we think 5 o'clock's a sleep in, but
wow.
To the average punter, that's probably not.
No. Wow. And I know with pastry chefing, you've got to be very particular with measurements and so on. Is it the same for bread-based products, or is there a bit more leeway?
Oh, there's even less leeway.
Okay.
Yeah, so all of our everything we do is formulated really well. Our bakers are all actually quite good at maths because everything's in percentages. And it's very particular. If you change your recipe slightly, each ingredient is a functional ingredient. It will actually change the end product quite a lot.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, there's no freestyling. Everything gets weighed and followed. Recipes are followed to a T.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why we have consistency across the country.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And so everything we put in there is in there for a reason. Even salt is in there for flavour, but it also helps regulate fermentation. It helps with gluten development, helps with shelf life. So every little thing we put in there is in there for a reason that helps us get a consistent product. So no handful of anything.
Yeah, right.
It's like everything.
Yeah. No, yeah. I do like the idea of people out the back freestyling, but yeah, perhaps not. not with the bread. Well, how much? Like, what would your average bakery? How much bread are they making a day, or baking?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. That's just really a fun fact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who would know? But yeah,
hundreds and hundreds of loaves.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and do you have to come up with more things for people with food intolerances? Is that a really large part of the research and so on?
Yeah, we do. We've had our low FODMAP bread, which was sort of a real cutting edge sort of product for people with suffer from IBS and they're on a low FODMAP diet. We can't do anything gluten free, unfortunately, because you'd have to make it in a different bakery. And we just make sure that our formulations are quite lean anyway, so we're not putting in stuff that people are allergic to. Yeah, like we'd never put peanuts in our bakeries because so many kids are allergic to peanuts, things like that.
Yeah, that's right. And so when you first started into this, you really loved it and you loved everything about it. What do you think has kept you in the industry for as long as you've been there?
When you're a baker, you get to work in the morning and your bakery is there's nothing there because it's bread, so there's nothing there. You've got bags of flour, you've got water, there's a couple of little ingredients. And when you go home, if you walk out of your bakery and look back at what you've, as a team, created, it's just fantastic. Like, you have a whole bakery full of beautiful product. When you've got a bakery where everyone's sort of passionate and proud of what they do, it's just a really fun place to work. And you've made all this stuff which people then go home and enjoy and eat. It's just a really sort of, I don't know, it sounds a bit romanticised, but it's actually really, it's true. It's actually really cool.
Yeah.
And then with my role now, like, I know when we develop a product, there's actually millions of people will eat it.
Wow.
That's a pretty cool thing to do. Like, you know that you've developed a product that 1 million people will actually eat.
Yep.
Over the next month, which is actually awesome.
Yeah. And what would your advice be to young people who are considering becoming bakers or chefs or pastry cooks?
I just think just have a go. Like, get in there. Don't be scared of the early mornings. Don't be scared. It's a fast-paced environment. These are fun environments to work in. I've worked as a pastry cook in a commercial kitchen, and bakeries are so much more fun than working with chefs. No offense to chefs, but there's no real hierarchy in a bakery. Everyone sort of just gets along and just does it all.
Yeah.
But just have fun, and it's an environment too where you've got lots of young guys and girls all working together to produce stuff. So just get in there and have a go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Luke. Thanks so much for your time. Lovely to talk to you. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. All right. Well, enjoy being amongst the flour and the bread and so on today. And
no worries.
Yeah, I'll get that up soon.
Awesome. Well, have a lovely day.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Luke Farrell from Baker's Delight. Baker's Delight have a great looking Instagram where you can check out their products, and also there's some random photos of very cute dogs and babies with the great bread and so on. It's at Baker's Delight, all one word. I'm also on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef, and if you want to read the chat, you can head to www.conversationwithachef.com. I would love it if you told a friend about my chats, and of course you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Once again, thanks for listening. Have a great day.